What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. You join me in the driving seat of Sean's Mini Cooper S R53. Now, this car is fully kitted out for track, and everything about it is inspired to go faster. Every mod that you'll see in this video is designed for this car to go faster. Sean's motto is, if it doesn't make it go faster, he really is not interested. So as I said, you'll see this car in my videos, obviously from track days and stuff, and it is like the family track car. Now personally, before I actually drove one of these cars, I wasn't a massive fan of them. I was your proper stereotype as such, new Mini, blah blah blah, it's not the real thing, and all this. But since driving one and tracking one and giving it a chance, these cars are fucking awesome, and I'm not even exaggerating. They're just so much fun, and really they're quite cheap to pick up in terms of what you can do with them. So Sean's car, we'll go through the specs in a minute, but Sean's car was last dynoed at 313 brake, and since then he's put a 2% shorter pulley, I believe, on the bottom, which I don't know how much brake exactly it gives him, but I remember him saying roughly, give or take, it will give you about an extra 10 brake. So unofficially it might be running a little bit more than what he last had it dynoed at. So Sean's car is built by Perks Garage Mini Mafia, by Steve, Aiden and the guys there, and they've done a really shit hot job in building this. It's got a Quaife LSD, it's fully forged, ported head, bigger valves, you name it, this car really has had it. It's had no expense spared. Got a big brake kit, Watermeth, shorter pulleys, TVS 900 Supercharger, and it really does pull really nicely, and you can probably hear a bit of a whirring. It's because I'm on the semi-slicks, which is, if you know, a lot of semi-slicks on the road can whine, or even on track they whine a bit. They just make the ideal track car, in my opinion, because if you bump it, easy parts to replace. One thing I will say about Sean's build is the fact of everything in here feels like track, but then you come to the steering wheel and he hasn't changed it. So this is a message for Sean: if you do not change it in the near future, I will be buying one because you want the race car feel with the wheel. This is what you're feeling, so it needs to be changed, Sean. It doesn't make it go faster, but it makes it feel a lot more race car-y. Actually running iron back coilovers, which on the road feel very comfortable. Considering this car has been built for track, it's so comfortable to drive on the road. I expect it to be a lot more harsh than this, which, as I said, feels really nice. Obviously the clutch and flywheel is uprated, and it's got that nice, as I say, samurai sound when you start it up. eyes are blighted. This car is fucking epic. 330 brake in a car that weighs about 900 kilos. Just a fun car. Also, the difference that this car is now with the Watermeth, it just makes the world of difference. From last season when we was on track to this season, it just feels loads smoother and a lot faster. And this car really is just awesome. I cannot stop saying it. It feels so nicely. The guys down at the Mini Mafia really have created such a smooth, fun, enjoyable car. And it's, what can I say? I know Sean's future plans are, well, he's getting to the stage now where he's thinking about getting a standalone ECU. Then he's talking about getting another shorter pulley. I don't really know a lot about Mini, so I couldn't really explain it to you. But I think he's going shorter on top or something like that. I don't know. But he is just literally out to get this car to about 360 figure, something like that. Tell you what though, this car handles so well on the higher back coilovers. It's just... Fuck me! This car is just so mint. It's just awesome. It's such a fun car, and you just... I love my turbo, but this is mint. Supercharger is just so fucking awesome. And as I said, it's a TVS 900. I don't know what they're rated for, but fucking hell. So Sean has got the Cobra bucket seats in here, which really do feel so much better than what he had in here before, which were Sparco seats. And they were leather, and just for personally, for me, felt like they didn't hug you so much, whereas these really feel like you're not going to move, and you do not move. So they're a much better bucket seat in my opinion. Obviously Sean's gone with the RSA harnesses. Now if you really do want a really good 5-point harness for a very fairly cost, I think they're about £75 for one, and they really are outstanding. They're a very good 5-point harness, so I do recommend getting them. So obviously coming around to the engine bay, you've got the intercooler, radiator, the AirTech induction kit, the upper strut brace. So when I said the startup of this car is just an awesome thing, I'm going to take you through why. So this gauge, I just love the way the whole thing starts up. It's just mint. So obviously you've got the gauge, and then the sound of the flywheel is just... that is just awesome. It sounds so mint, and it makes you feel like you're in for a really good drive when you start this car up. So heavy, it's even heavier than my Focus, so, and stiff from standard, but this one is just so heavy, which I prefer personally. It's instant, the power is there, and it just pulls and it keeps going. Just keeps going. It is fucking epic. Obviously that's one thing that I love about superchargers, is there's no lag. And then just through the rev range, it just feels like it's not ever going to stop, and it wants to pull your face off and kill you. And the LSD, there's not much torque, there's fuck all torque steer, so it works so well. Honestly, all I can say, guys, is if you're looking for a track car, I would honestly suggest getting a Mini Cooper S R53, because they're so easy to get good, decent power out of, and they're such fun cars. Craig, who's Sean's son, has a Mini Cooper S, and he's sitting about 275 brake, and that is such a fun car to drive, even at 275 brake and stuff like that. They're just such fun cars. So it is fair to say, from before I first drove one till now, my opinion has gone totally the other way. I thought new minis were a bit shit. They're not that great, but they're just such fun cars. And to look at, even for a show car, you can make them look so mean and so like wide-bodied. And Steve at Mini Mafia has put a wide-body kit on his, and his looks absolutely evil, and it is very quick. It has a big brake kit on it, which is Wilwoods, and really, you can tell it's a massive difference. I really like APs and I really like K Sports, but after you've been in a car with Wilwoods, it really is a massive difference on stopping power. This car has a full Miltek sports exhaust system with downpipe decat. And it sounds fucking epic. And this thing flies. Sean said he last rolled it at 313 brake. Fucking hell. This thing wants to tear your face off, and I'm not even exaggerating. Fucking, that is quick.